All right, we got the man, the myth, and the legend coming up here in a minute. You're listening to the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone, WRKS. We're live in the Bank Plus studio. The show is brought to you by Cypress Depot, the leading supplier of cypress and other hardwoods in the Southeast. Products they offer: beams, columns, mantles, siding, flooring, you name it. CypressDepot.com. Cypress Depot in Ridgeland. And that is, they are the leading supplier of cypress and other hardwoods in the Southeast. We welcome in Fred Smoot on the Modelo guest line. Smoot, how are you, buddy?
What's up, Bo Bounds? I'm doing good, brother. I see you didn't call me because my guys beat Texas A&M. I haven't heard a peep out of you.
I know. I thought about you on Friday, though. And, I was out of town this past weekend. I went to Florida on a guy's trip, so I was kind of discombobulated coming back on Sunday. But I saw where your former coach, I don't know if you saw this because you may have been doing Washington football stuff, but Jackie Wayne walked in the press conference and congratulated Mike Leach. And then he eventually went in the locker room and talked to the players. How cool is that?
Man, that's great, man. That's good for old Captain Jack Sparrow. He need everything he can get and all the help he can get because we're one of those teams that we haven't made it to the point where we beat the teams we're supposed to, all right? We beat the teams we're not supposed to in Texas A&M, but then we can't beat the Memphises. That tell you that it's something's missing with this team, and the running game is one of them. If you can't run in the SEC, you will never win games consistently.
Well, I'll say this: they have a hell of a quarterback. He's young.
Yep.
And
I like Will Rogers.
I think he's a good player, man. He's got all that poise and leadership. Mox. He's a coach's son, by the way, Smoot. I don't know if you knew that, but
no, I knew he was a coach's son. I know he went to Brandon. You could tell by his composure on how he carries himself that he's a coach's son. Now, the question is, does Captain Jack Sparrow have the ability to make him reach his peak? That's the whole thing. Like, that's what makes good college coaches. Can you get a player, and can you get him from who he is as a freshman when you get him? Can you get him to reach his peak before he leaves your school? And I just don't know, Bo Bounds. I don't know.
I think he can because Leach's track record with quarterbacks is pretty unbelievable. And so, what Gardner Minshew told us about Leach and his ability to teach the position, coach, develop, and Gardner only had him 1 year. Now, granted, Gardner was a fifth-year senior by then and more grown up, older, whatever, than Will. But, man, I think if you look at the way that Will Rogers has progressed in just this short time, I think Leach is doing a great job with him. Smoot?
What TV show are you watching, Bo Bounds? Are you watching a flow model TV or something? Are you watching the same games I'm watching? Because you're talking about a quarterback. If I was a cornerback and I had to play against Will Rogers, first of all, 60% of his passes are short passes. All right, all I'm going to do is press everybody and make you throw deep. I'm sorry, the progression is not there. All right, and then he reads half of the field. He doesn't have 1, 2, 3, 4 progressions. I'm just saying, like, to take somebody to the next level, he's doing stuff that he was doing in high school. I don't see him challenging him. To challenge him is to challenge him when he plays the LSUs of the world, when he plays Alabama, to force the ball down the field. And who's his number one guy? Who's his number one connection? Do you know?
Well, Mekhi Polk had 13 catches for 126 yards on Saturday night against A&M.
Yep, and that's the first time he's had 13 catches. You don't know who his number one is. He doesn't have one relationship that's unique with one player.
All right, let me walk you through. I disagree. I think first of all, he's young. He's a true. Most guys don't play at a high level as true sophomores at that position at quarterback. Other position, yes, but not at that quarterback in the league, even at the powers. So here's what they had. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which for Mississippi State is unheard of. They had 5 explosive plays through the air on Saturday night. So 5 plays that went for 20-plus yards. So I thought Will Rogers did a much better job throwing the ball down the field Saturday against A&M.
Bo Bounds, like I said, he must be your favorite child. I know you got children, Bo Bounds, and everybody, they hate to lie and say this, but we all got a favorite child. It just happens. And it seems like we arrived as your favorite child because when we got a favorite child, we make excuses for him. All the time, we make excuses for, oh, he's young. So is Johnny Manziel. So is Bryce Young. So is so many other guys that play as freshmen and sophomores. At the end of the day, you either ready or you're not. And when you out there, if I can't give you the whole play in the whole playbook, you shouldn't be out there. I think he has the ability to do it. I just think he's being spoon-fed and that's holding the team back.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll agree to disagree there. Fred Smoot.
I tried to get Kevin Fant to start when I was there. I talked to Coach Sherrill about that the whole entire
Well,
time
Sparky Woods made a terrible decision on that. I mean,
they chose Wayne Mackin. And now I don't have a national championship and never will have a chance to go get a national championship. Were we in the national championship conversation? Yes, we were. All we needed was I didn't need a great quarterback. I just needed a good quarterback, and we didn't have that.
Well, yeah. All right. So, Fred Smoot on the Modelo guest line. Smoot, let's switch gears here. We were talking earlier. Blake was the employee of the month for us in September.
Oh, nice! But congratulations, Blake. Congratulations.
Yeah. So we're excited, and I just want to know: have you ever been the employee of the month for the Washington football team organization?
I actually won MVP of the team in 2003.
Okay.
So I guess they're the employee of the year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've won pretty much every team I've ever played on. I've won MVP at some point. So I guess I've been employee of the month also. And I was actually down in Jackson this weekend. I actually, my daughter, she goes to Jackson Academy. I went and watched them play, and they played the Greenville Christian Academy School. Mm-hmm. And, boy, that wide receiver, Bell, he's 6'3", 235. He is Anquan Bolden in the league already.
Were you at the game?
I was at the game. I watched the game, and I enjoyed the game, and they thrashed J.A., but, boy, talent. I can't believe that their school has only been there for 2 years with all the talent that they have.
No, they're loaded. They are they're loaded, Smoot. They've got several Power 5, type guys. Did you watch it in the stands or on the sideline?
No, I watched it in the stands, but I didn't go on the field because it's my daughter's senior day. So I went by Paris on her senior day. So I enjoyed that part. I got time to stop and holler at Prime while I was there. I got time to do a little bit of everything while I was there. And I had a good conversation with Deion, and he asked me a good question that I couldn't answer. He was like, why ain't you in the Mississippi State Hall of Fame? And I don't know. He's like, you're supposed to be in there. I said, well, maybe I need to come and be a part of the Jackson State Hall of Fame. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to call Prime and see when he inject me into the Jackson State Hall of Fame.
Hold on. So you're not in the Mississippi State Hall of Fame?
I'm not in the Mississippi State Hall of Fame.
All right. We're going to have to work on that. I think we can work on that. I mean, you were an All-American at quarterback, right?
I'm the most decorated player ever. It's never been a player in Mississippi State history as decorated as I was first team All-American consensus. All right? Playboy All-American. Mississippi State to this day has not had a more decorated player. I was up for Defensive Player of the Year, the Thorpe Award, all of it. Nobody's ever collected more hardware than me. And that just shows the disconnect at Mississippi State compared to Ole Miss and Southern Miss and the other places. It's a lot of guys that haven't got their just due. So that just shows you the disconnect when it comes to the AD, when it comes to the fan base. They would have thought it was already happening. But the people who run things, it's not a family. How should I say? It has not been a family affair when it comes to Mississippi State.
Well, it's gotten better in the last. You're right. When you were there in the 10 years after you left, it wasn't. I mean, nobody could figure out anything. I'm surprised they could turn the lights on. But it has changed the last, 10 to 12 years. But I think we can work on this Mississippi State Hall of Fame stuff. Let me ask you this. How do you become a Playboy All-American?
You go out there and you pick some balls off, Bobown. I don't even know if they do it anymore. They used to fly us to Tempe, Arizona, put us in a large resort, and it was just luxurious. And me, Mike Vick, Drew Brees, LaDainian Thomas, Santana Moss, Freddie Millins was part of my Playboy All-American class. So we
Really?
had a very dumb. Me and Freddie Millins almost got to fight out there in Arizona because we have a long disdain for each other.
I could see that going against each other. So was that your, around Christmas holidays of your senior year or something?
Yeah, that was going into my senior year.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, going into my senior year, they fly you up once the 24 players are announced, and they basically the best 24 players in college, and that's the way they used to do it.
And so you got to go out to Tempe, Scottsdale, Phoenix area during that time?
Yes. Yeah, me, Deuce McAllister, all of us. We stayed out there for 3-4 days, and it was fun. It was water raft, everything you could think of. They set it out for us.
That's pretty cool. All right, I didn't know that. That's one of the stories you hadn't shared with us. So,
yeah, it was a fun time, and I had to share it to you personally.
Smoot on the Modelo guest line. Out of bounds, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. Now, let's talk about Dak Prescott. There's no doubt he's the MVP so far, right?
Oh, I don't know. Kyler Murray is kicking up some dust. All right? It's a couple of guys out there. They in their bag right now. And I got a chance to watch Justin Herbert up close. He's unbelievable. He's unbelievable.
He's awesome.
The way he throws that ball, and then he's a lethal runner that don't even use it. All right? He doesn't even use his legs. And him and Keenan Allen has a connection, unbelievable connection. So if I had to give a first-half MVP right now, I think it'll be Kyler Murray. What they did to the Rams.
Over Dak?
Over Dak. You know I'm a Dak guy.
You know what?
I'm a Dak guy to the end.
I think you're wearing a Washington football team jersey right now, and you can't bring yourself to give.
I'm not. But you know I'm biased when it comes to my dog brothers.
Okay.
All right? I got Fletcher Cox and Slate that I cheer for the Eagles. Like, when it comes to my dog brothers, I'm picking my dog brothers over the pro team. So it has nothing to do with that. The things that Kyler Murray have done over the first 4 weeks, I think it's unbelievable, man. Like, he is really what you call unstoppable. You can't blitz him. You can't play man under. When you do play man to man, the receivers get to run 3 different routes because he know how to make time and literally get off schedule on plays. Then he can beat you running. I'm sorry, man. I love that. But right now, he's at number 3 on my MVP list behind Justin Herbert.
What?
My guy.
All right,
He's
I disagree with you on Will Rogers, and I disagree with you on Dak Prescott. So we'll keep moving on.
I think with Justin Herbert, you having West Coast bias. You don't watch him enough.
I just saw him play
last night.
Yes. And 2 weeks ago against Dak.
And he beat an undefeated Raiders team.
Yeah, but Gruden's overrated. So are the Raiders.
Oh, there you go. Hey, listen. Hey, somebody in the studio, check Bo Bow's pocket for some salt. He is throwing salt right now all over the place. At the end of the day, you just know this, Bo Bow. Salt kills snails, not players. I'm telling you like this. At the end of the day, he's not having a better year than Justin Herbert and my guy.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
You're wrong again, but that's all right. I love you. All right, Fred Smoot.
You got your version. I got the truth.
Fred Smoot on the Modelo guest line. You're listening Out of Bounds, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. Okay. So you got Dak third. And so you recognize that he's playing extremely well.
He's playing the best ball of his career.
Okay.
The way he's reading defenses and diagnosing defenses and breaking them down, I can still see a little gimp. He's not old Dak when it comes to his wheels. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But because he's so damn smart right now, he knows how not to have to use his wheels to go out and make plays.
Okay, I'm with you there. Can we agree that the Dallas Cowboys are the best team in the NFC East?
We can agree that they are playing the best ball right now in NFC.
Okay.
We can agree with that. We can agree with them playing the best ball right now in the NFC. Yes, they are. And Trayvon Diggs is literally, he's a prison warden. He's a prison warden. He's locking down the world.
Okay. Yeah, no, Diggs looks great. So does Micah Parsons and Dan Quinn. That was a good hire by Mike. I mean, Smoot, that looks like a really good hire because that defense was so bad last year.
That was a great hire.
Dan Quinn.
Everybody just made to be a head coach. All right? Just because you dominate as a coordinator doesn't make you a great head coach. So when these guys go back to coordinating and they get back in their bag and understand what they're good at, then they excel again. Mm-hmm. We're not shocked that the guy that started the Legion of Boom is a good defensive coordinator. Dan Quinn has always been a great coordinator. Yeah. And now you put him with the tools and the people he got. Come on, he got guys that's first rounders that he can't even get on the field with better than him.
All right. So you've got the Cowboys making the playoffs.
I got the Cowboys making the playoffs. Yes, I do. I have the Cowboys making the playoffs, and I also have the Washington Red Wolves making the playoffs.
Who's your quarterback?
What you mean?
Did y'all pick him up from like the Heineke. XFL or something? What's going on?
Hey, Taylor Heineke, a.k.a. Last Papa Alcohol, grab me a Heineke. Listen to me. He's the ultimate underdog. Notice this. Go back and watch his college at Old Dominion. He literally threw for 700 yards in one game. He's one of these guys that has a Kurt Warner-esque story. He comes out of nowhere. He's very talented, and he's fearless.
Okay.
He's fearless. And you got to love it, and you got to respect it. Listen, when our quarterback, when Fitzmagic got hurt, guess what my guy Heineke told the guy next to him before he went in the game?
What'd he say?
The same thing you tell your homeboy when you finna get in the fight at the bar. Hold my beer, man. I'll be back.
All right, so is it Taylor or Tyler Heineke?
It's Taylor.
Okay, all right. He sounds like a PGA Tour player, but evidently maybe he'll, don't you think?
Not really.
He sounds like somebody that was on our Ryder Cup team.
Well, you know what? When I'm playing golf, I go by Smoot DeChambeau. So that's more of a golf name right there. Now, Heineke, I know y'all don't want to respect him because he's not from the blue blood colleges. He's not from the Power Five. He had a story. He had to go through some ups and downs to get here. But look at the 4 games he started. He's never threw for under 280 yards, and he can run. He can literally get out there and run with the best of them. He went head-to-head with the greatest quarterback of all time in Tom Brady in the playoff, blow for blow. Y'all got to get this guy some props. Nobody loves the underdog no more. What happened to the days of loving the underdog instead of the front runner?
I'm with you on that. Now, let's go back to your golf nickname. Tell me what you are again.
Yeah. Smoot DeChambeau.
Got it. All right. Mm-hmm. How about this? Have you ever played golf? So when I was 10 years old, like 1983, Joe Gibbs would run John Riggins like 40 times a game, Smoot. All right?
Yep.
They were unbelievable. They had the hogs and so on, and Theismann before Lawrence Taylor broke his leg and all that. Have you ever played golf with John Riggins?
I did everything with John Riggins. See, here's the funny thing about Rick, though. Every time we have alumni stuff, a training camp, John brings his RV. And this is the same RV he had back in the day that they used to park at training camp and get wasted in between practice. Now, when you see this booze cruise pull up, you know one thing. First of all, you can't enter John Riggins' RV without a beer, or at least beers for other people. Second of all, you go on there sober and you leave blind. That's just the way it goes.
Okay, so if I make the trip, which I've been saying I was going to do to come see you, and you said you would get me in the game, at
I
the
got
Washington football. I mean, at the stadium.
I got you.
Can I drink a beer with John Riggins?
If he's there, listen. The one thing about beer drinkers, it's a community thing. All right, it's a community thing. And like I say, Rigo is one of them guys when he around, he's a people person, he's cheating. He has no filter now. So if he want to cut you out over a beer, he gonna do it. But yeah, you can have a beer with Rigo. But he has no filter, so if you wearing your feelings on your sleeve, that's the wrong kind of beer, right?
Yeah. Hey, have you heard? I've only got a couple of minutes here. Fred Smoot on the Out of Bounds show, Playboy Consensus All-American. What?
Thank you.
What? So, have you heard the story about after they won the Super Bowl? I don't remember which one. And Riggins, they go to the White House, and he gets hammered, and ends up getting down on all fours and goes underneath the table, and Nancy Reagan and President Reagan are there, and he somewhat in a roundabout, in a fun way, hits on the First Lady. Have you heard of any of that story before?
I've heard all those stories.
Okay.
I've heard most of those stories, and he also he did the number 2 in the White House also.
Nice. So he one-upped you over Dan Snyder's mansion and his yacht, and he dropped a deuce in the White House.
In the White House. You got to be privileged to do that.
No doubt.
You got to be privileged to do that. I hope you ate corn that day.
Well, there you go. That's a good way to wrap up the interview with the legend himself, Playboy All-American Fred Smoot on the Out of Bounds show, now with Washington, D.C. sports and Washington football team and so on. And evidently I may get to have a beer with John Riggins at some point. Like who else? Art Monk.
The rest of the old guys, man. The only one you probably can't have a beer with is Darryl Green because he don't drink.
Boy, that guy could run. Good grief.
Listen,
Number 35 when I was a kid.
Listen, I remember my rookie year when I got here, and they used to always have the fastest Redskin race. And it came down to the last 3 of us, and it was me, Champ Bailey, and Darryl Green. And I'm like, okay, I am not going to let this 40-year-old man beat me running. And at the end of the race, that 40-year-old man beat me running. Right? He not only beat me, he beat me and Champ.
Wow.
Yeah.
That dude's a speed demon. Smoot, it was great to catch up, my friend. And I hope you're doing well. And Will Rogers is going to prove you wrong, okay?
Hey, he will. Hashtag Jackson State Hall of Fame.
Stop it. We're going to start the deal, the campaign for Smoot to the Mississippi State University Hall of Fame. Be good, buddy. See you, man.
All right, Bo Bow.
Fred Smoot on the Modelo guest line. Right there. If you missed any of that, you can hit Apple Podcasts, search the Out of Bounds show. And the show was brought to you by Burgers, Blues, and Barbecue. They're serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner on Main Street in Madison. Again, hit Apple Podcasts, search the Out of Bounds show, and we'll see you tomorrow.